And for me, it might be both. This isn't what I wanted to start with, but I'm going to. I am here speaking on behalf of myself. Only myself. These are my opinions and beliefs, and I am not representing any company, business, or group. If you can see me winking in the back, it looks like this. Okay? I do want to say I'm really nervous to be here and to be speaking, and I think it's important to acknowledge that for a lot of reasons. I'm going to be looking at my paper, and a lot of you have heard me talk before, and I don't normally have papers. I usually just wing it, but I'm not going to today because it's really important. And as all of us continue to navigate through this, we're going to be called to speak or to take action in lots of different ways. And you might be shitting your pants too while you do it, but I encourage you to do it anyway. And those actions and the support that's required it's here for you. And I look around and I see so many familiar faces here, and that is really comforting. I've had a lot of really nice messages, and so if someone comes knocking at your door and asks you to take a plunge, I encourage you to find the courage to do it, because we need everyone taking steps to fight what's happening right now. And whatever comfort level that you have, dive in and just go get her, you know?
Yeah.
I'll just give you a little bit of background. I'm local. I'm a citizen here in Kincardine. I grew up here. I went to grade school here and high school. I came back to raise my family here. And I share that with you because we made a decision to come back to Grey Bruce County. I love it here.
Woo!
Yes, it is a beautiful place to be. It's quiet, it's safe, it's peaceful. The people are wonderful.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. And that's important to remember as we continue going through this. I think a lot of those things are being challenged right now, but I truly believe underneath all of it, all of those things and the essence of why it's so important and why our community is so important, that's still there. And those people are still here. They might not be out with us today, but keep an open mind and be a safe place when people start changing their minds. They're going to need a place to land, and I really encourage you to be that place for them, because someone was a place like that for me. I am not an activist. I am not a rally speaker. This is not something I ever do, but somehow I found myself here, and other people may too. And it's just so important.
Thank you.
I see a lot of signs here that I help make, and it's very relatable to the thing that is the most important reason why I'm here. It's medical choice, it's medical autonomy, and it's medical privacy. I hold the line for those three things, and I will do it as long as humanly possible, because that's how important it is to me, for my children, for my family, and for my community.
Us too.
Yes.
Us too.
United we stand.
I know a lot of people say, trust the experts, trust this, trust that. I don't know about you. I don't give that out freely. You earn it.
That's right.
Yeah,
You earn the trust and the respect that is required to guide me. And that trust and that respect has been deeply eroded over the last 18 months.
Yes.
And we could go back decades with our government, and that would be super fun, right? Any government. It doesn't matter what your political flavor might be. It doesn't matter if it changes. We have a history of not being accountable or responsible for the consequences of our policies. And I'm always really big to own my piece in that. And there is a piece for us to own. Not only do they not, and are they not accountable and responsible, but we as citizens do not hold them accountable or responsible. And for those reasons, I will not hand over my medical autonomy, my choice, or my privacy, because they have not earned it.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Woo!
not just when it's convenient, right?
That's right.
I think something else that really rings true for me here, and all of these things apply to not only how I am treated, but how I treat other people. My rights do not end where your fear begins.
Woo! Amen.
Your rights do not end where my fear begins. Because as you can see, I am slightly scared right now. I have fear. I am nervous. I don't know what's next. That does not give me the right to make you do anything. It does not give me the right to force my beliefs on you. It does not give me the right to force my will on you. It doesn't today, it didn't yesterday, and there is no chaos and no threat that will ever make that okay. That is not how communities live. That is not how there is peace, how there is calm. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Anyone who's telling you that that is the scenario, I mean, maybe tell them to give their heads a shake. I don't know. This is why you write things down. I want to share some dialogue I had with someone the other day, and it went a little bit like this. Everything is so new. We don't know. Everyone's doing the best they can. And these are all true things, and I accept all of them. But here's what I don't accept. I don't accept using that in ways that only serve one narrative. I am okay that we are navigating through this and it's unknown territory. I'm okay with the fact that this is a novel virus and we are learning new things every day. I am okay and I understand that. But for that very reason alone, we cannot mandate any interventions on people when we do not know enough information.
Yeah.
Woo! Right.
You can't on one stance say that it's ever evolving and we are learning, and these interventions that we are mandating on people, every day we turn around and there are new parameters, there are new guidelines. Some of them we don't use anymore. You cannot continue to tell us that you're doing the best you can and then tell me the science is settled. It does not work both ways. The science is not settled. When we continue to learn and we continue to adapt, the conversation is open and we do not mandate. Just from a human perspective, what kind of ego would I have to actually think that I know what you should do with your body? What kind of ego would I have to tell you what is safe for your family? How do I know what your family is going through? How do I know what the philosophies of your family and your children are? I don't, and neither do they.
Yeah.
Nor do they care.
I thought I would get in a groove and not be nervous halfway through, but it's not happening.
You're doing awesome.
You're doing great. Hey, keep going. You're doing fine.
Woo!
I'll need a hug after. I'm always up for hugs. Yeah, no one told, maybe they did tell me not to hug, but I gave them a big F you on that one. Oh, and I should tell you, I do sometimes swear, but I see the kids back there, so hopefully they're not listening. This is the other thing that is really, really important to continue to be at the forefront of your discussions, okay? And it's this beautiful word called immunity. So I'm supposed to trust science and I'm supposed to trust medical professionals, and yet no one will have a discussion about natural immunity.
I trust God. I trust my immunity.
We aren't testing for it. We aren't asking about it. We're happy to throw a ticker up to tell you how many people had COVID and no longer do, but we won't associate that with a natural immunity and what that means going forward as it relates to mandates. How is this possible? Why is this acceptable? You'll find that I'm always going to ask tough questions, and I'm sure many people along the way have wished I didn't. But I will continue to be critical. I will continue to add logic.
Yes.
I will continue to think with common sense, because apparently that's a superpower now. But it isn't, because if you talk to any young person, my daughter is here today. And when my daughter, who is 11 years old, is bright, intelligent, and we sit down and we have conversations about the lack of logic, the lack of common sense. And when she pokes holes in some of these policies, it's pretty embarrassing to not challenge the people who make those policies.
Woo! Correct. Yes.
Right on.
Ask more questions.
We continue to take the dialogue that unless we are 100% compliant, we can't continue. We can't go forward. We can't shop together. We can't be in businesses together. And I tell you, that's bullshit.
Woo!
And this is why.
Woo!
And maybe this is a news flash and this should be a headline somewhere. We have been living in harmony and peace with unvaccinated people for decades.
Yes.
They've been in your schools.
Amen.
They're shopping with you. They're in stores. You work with them. That has been something that has been accepted and part of our social contract for years. This is not new.
Woo!
Amen.
It's all about control.
I will wrap this up with some love, peace, too, but sometimes I gotta get the fire out, okay? I am done pretending. I don't know about you, but so much of this feels like pretend. I'm done pretending it's okay to fill a stadium with 30,000 people, but collecting outside with 100 people in your community is not considered safe. I am done
nightmare.
pretending that it is okay to send your children into a community center unaccompanied by an adult for their first extracurricular, and people say, yeah, that seems normal.
No.
I am done pretending that this vaccine passport is comparable to the yellow immunization card. You all know I went on a rant on that one day. That's not true. They are not the same. I am done pretending that it's okay for our government to give exemptions to NBA and NHL players and not its regular citizens.
Woo! Enough is enough.
I'm done pretending that this is about health when the number one comorbidity of death due to COVID is obesity, and we are restricting people's ability to access fitness centers and wellness centers. That is not health. And one of my favorites, this is usually a little controversial. I am done pretending that it is an acceptable rhetoric to say if you are unvaccinated, you will not have health care available to you. When currently our health care is filled with thousands upon thousands of people who make lifestyle choices that result in type 2 diabetes, obesity, cancer, you name it. And they use our system and they heal themselves, and there are no questions or mandates or anything of that like. I do not support that.
Woo! Stand with you.
Peace, love. Okay, here we go.
Woo!
I'll leave you with this because this is something that really sits heavy and weighs heavy on my heart. Okay, I swear, and sometimes I cry.
It's okay.
I often wonder when the dust settles, because it will settle. I want to know, who am I going to be when that happens? What kind of community is this going to be?
Big hugs. Big hugs.
Better because of you. Oh, you're so sweet. I ask that because in all of how we navigate, we react. There is so much fear that has saturated us and others. And although I feel like this group and many groups like you have a capacity for a lot more, there's going to come a time when we have to come back together. We're going to have to heal. We're going to have to rebuild. And we're going to have to forgive. And part of that process is asking, how do I respond to what is happening around me now? And I wouldn't be me if I didn't challenge all of you that are here as well, and myself. Many times people have said to me, well, could you not do it that way? Could you have your opinion and fight for freedoms, but could you just do it in a way that's more comfortable? So I challenge those people. Are you supporting the people who are fighting for your rights and freedoms? But also us. Are we going to the source of the problem? Or are we taking an easy way out and yelling at a hostess or yelling at a business? Because if you are, and that's all you're doing, you're part of the problem. And you're part of the divisiveness. And we need to own that piece as well. Woo! That's not where we go. We go to the people who are making the policies. We go to the people that are setting these mandates up, and we demand better. Now is the time where we hold people accountable and responsible.
Yes.
For the businesses, because I know this is a sensitive subject. Everyone is going to navigate this, and if I want you to respect me, I have to respect you also. And in so doing, I encourage this. If you are a business who is supporting the vaccine passport and refusing business from people, your only answer cannot be, my hands are tied. I'm doing what I'm told. Because I'll be the first person to say you're bearing the brunt of something that's happened. And they are. They're in a rock and a hard place. But that is not the only answer. The other answer should be, I am pounding on the Chamber of Commerce door. I am pounding at the mayor's door. I am pounding on the MPP, the premier, the provincial government, the federal government.
Yes.
And I'm sure I can speak on behalf of people here today. You are not alone. And if you need support to do that, to fight back, we are here for you. We will show up. It's freezing cold and threatening rain, and you're all still here. Woo! If you're turning people away, you also are part of the division. Because I'm sure, like many of you, I went above and beyond. I did everything I could in the last 18 months to support the economic development and stability of my community here. And it hurts my heart that there are places I can't go right now because I will not participate in this passport system. But I will remember this, and I encourage you to as well. When fear is pumped out at every corner and every minute and every hour of every day for 18 months, there are behavioral repercussions. People will not show up as their best selves. That's just what fear does. But please remember this. Those people are in your community, and when the dust settles, and it will settle, we need to set ourselves up with the best possibility to come back together. I moved back to this place because it had all of the things that I value in raising a family, and I sure as shit will not let that go up in a pile of flames without fighting for it. I know it sounds super cheesy, but I'm kind of cheesy. Love really is the answer. It really, really is. Well, there's a lot of broody guys here. Even my neighbor is here. I probably could have carpooled with them, but I know there's a lot of rough and tough men and women, theys and she's and he's and who's and what's its. Love is the thing that will bring us back together. And sometimes you have to take the high road. Sometimes you have to be the safe place to land. People are confused. People are filled with fear. Eventually, their capacity will expand and they will need a safe place to be. They will need people to say, come with us to the park. Come with us here. And we will not say, I told you so. Take the high road, people. Be there for when people change their minds. And don't be the person that says, I told you so. Be the person that says, you're welcomed here and you are not alone. Thank you very much.
Yay!